What is up, guys? Delboy here. A quick prediction for Eleider Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev 2. These two gentlemen last fought on the 4th of August 2018. That night, Eleider Alvarez knocked out Sergey Kovalev in the 7th round in what was an upset victory. Is it going to be repeat, or is it going to be revenge? It's a really mouth-watering fight, and I can't wait to find out. Now, how do I see this fight playing out? First and foremost, I do question what Kovalev has left. Sergey Kovalev is 35 years old. He's actually 36 in April. He's coming off a bad knockout defeat, and he has a few problems outside of the ring. One of those being, allegedly, he punched a woman in the face. Whether that's true or not, we will find out, but it can't be ideal dealing with that going into a big fight. And also, over the years, we've heard rumours of Kovalev not really living the life like he should. So I believe Kovalev has seen better days at this point. I still think he's a good, dangerous fighter, but I just feel he's seen better days. You know, I don't think it's the same guy who beat Jean Pascal twice. I don't think it's the same guy who beat Hopkins, who beat Cleverly. To me, this Kovalev just looks off the pace, and he may be there for the taking. As for Alvarez, he is coming into this fight with real momentum. He's 24-0, never been beat, and, you know, he's coming off the biggest win of his career. He is 34 years old, so he's no spring chicken, but he's not had the wear and tear that Kovalev has, and he lives the life outside of the ring, and he's still very hungry. So going into the fight, I feel Alvarez is in a better place in comparison to Kovalev, and that could play a factor. Technically, I think Alvarez will give Kovalev a lot of problems again. The thing that surprised me first time around was the fact that Alvarez was having a lot of success on the outside. At times, he was winning the jab exchanges, he was beating Kovalev to the jab, and Alvarez's jab that night was a ramrod jab. It was rocking the head back of Kovalev on numerous occasions. That was his main weapon that night, and that surprised me. To me, Kovalev has always been a world-class outside fighter. Kovalev is really good at judging range. He's got a really good jab himself. He's got a lovely right hand, long right hand. He can time you from the outside. Kovalev, to me, is a boxer puncher from the outside. He's also got very good feet. But in that first Alvarez fight, you know, that was the first time when I've seen somebody really match Kovalev on the outside, or maybe even better him. I've never seen anybody do that to the extent Alvarez did. And even in the defeats to Andre Ward done his best work on the inside. When it was on the outside, Kovalev was the superior boxer. His jab was landing quite regularly. He timed Ward with his right hand a few times as well. It was when Ward was on the inside, that's when Kovalev had problems. But on the outside, you know, he gave Ward a lot of problems. And same with Hopkins, same with Cleverly, same with Pascal. On the outside in all of these fights, Kovalev has been the boss. But against Alvarez, that really wasn't the case. And I'm not sure how Kovalev can adapt to stop that. I'm not sure how he takes Alvarez's jab away from him. Kovalev's not a guy who's going to slip and slide under the jab and work on the inside. No, he's not going to do that. His inside skills are pretty poor. I also believe Kovalev's reaction time is declining, so he's going to struggle to sort of counter that jab. He's going to struggle to time it. And Kovalev historically was always a really good sort of counterpuncher. He was always good with his timing. And to me, ever since that Chilemba fight in Russia, Kovalev's timing has been declining, as has his reflexes. So the first issue Kovalev has is, can he take that jab away from Eleider Alvarez? I would hazard a guess and say no, to be honest, and that is going to be a big problem. Maybe he could try and jab for jab with Eleider Alvarez, but although Kovalev's jab is good, you know, is he going to win that battle? He didn't first time around. I can't see what he's going to improve to do it this time around. Could Kovalev try and walk Alvarez down behind the high guard? Maybe, but, you know, in that event, Alvarez would then work the body. You know, when you've got your high guard up, the body becomes more available, and, you know, Alvarez is a good body puncher. Kovalev doesn't like the body shots, so I think that tactic would go out the window. So I'm not really sure how Kovalev takes that jab away from Alvarez, to be quite honest. And going into this fight, maybe Kovalev just needs to let his hands go and see what happens. Kovalev did hurt Alvarez a couple of times in their first fight. So, you know, Kovalev knocking out Alvarez isn't beyond the realms of possibility. When he stepped in with that right hand, he caught Alvarez with it a few times. Alvarez didn't really expect it. Alvarez himself, he's not low like Mayweather. He gets hit. He does stand upright at times. He does have lapses in concentration. You know, Kovalev definitely has a puncher's chance, and maybe he just needs to go in there and try and blast this guy out of there. Try and catch him cold and take him out. But, you know, that in itself is risky, obviously. So I do believe Kovalev is up against it here, and I do make him the underdog. As for Alvarez, he needs to stick to what he did first time around. Use that consistent jab like the first fight, use it with power like the first fight, and grind Kovalev down with it. Also, I would like to see Alvarez vary that jab to give Kovalev something new to think about. So vary it from body to head, stab Kovalev in the solar plexus with a jab. That shot is a really good shot for taking the wind out of your opponent. And, you know, when you've got a guy in Kovalev whose gas tank isn't the best, that's a good shot to use. So the jab of Alvarez is going to be important. Just do what you did last time and try to improve on it. Another thing I would like to see from Alvarez that we didn't really see too much of in the first fight is body work. I have seen Alvarez work to the body in previous fights, but in the Kovalev fight he didn't really do it too much. I would like to see him try to attack the body in this fight. Alvarez has a nice uppercut to the body. He does land some nice hooks to the body. He can vary from body to head in regards to his attack. So when he does let his hands go, if there's any opportunity when Kovalev is against the ropes and stationary, try and sink one or two downstairs to again slow Kovalev down. Again, Kovalev is a guy whose gas tank isn't the best. And overall, Alvarez just needs to box the same fight as last time, but not exactly the same fight, so it's not predictable. So like I said, vary the jab, work the body, give Kovalev a few new problems to take care of, and if he does that, I will pick him to win this fight. I'm going to go with Alvarez in this fight. I think it's the end of the road for Sergey Kovalev. But if he does win this fight, I'll give him all the credit in the world, because I think Alvarez, number one, is a good fighter, and coming back from that type of defeat, you know, would be a good look for Kovalev. So share your thoughts below. How do you see this fight going? I actually got odds on Alvarez as the underdog. I believe now he's favourite. But yeah, share your thoughts below. Peace.